Yo, fam, what's going on? Welcome back to the emergency spice. We don't have these often, but man, the markets are spicing it up, and we had to go live to cover it for you guys due to popular demand and requests. If you're here today and you're getting spicy with it, smash the likes and subscribes, settle in. We are going to be live again tomorrow, but we're going to have a quick update stream here, take a peek at what's going on. So if you've tuned into the charts, you're probably sweating. Your portfolio's probably a little red. You're wondering where this will end. Is this the end of our rally, etc.? We're going to take a look at the charts and we're going to see what they have to say. Really quick, I want to look at the funding rate here just to see what traders are looking at. We are seeing a little bit heavy shorts. That's a good sign, but definitely not enough to say, oh, the bottom's in or something like that. But it's a start. It's a start. Shout out really quick to our sponsors as well. We have Fair Desk, Bybit, and Market Cipher. Links in the video description below. Sign up using my link to help support the stream. Subscribe, share the stream, etc. Okay, back to the content. So, what's going on? I think I can answer the question as to why is crypto dumping today, the one that every new person typing into YouTube right now is looking for. If we look at what happened over the last 2 days, yes, we had Mr. Chirpow speak, and it was epic. But that's really not the cause, in my opinion. The language over the last 2 days, the market is clearly seeing that as more hawkish than the previous rhetoric. We did hear things such as continued interest rate hikes, arguments basically between the House and Chirpow about unemployment, and is that really what we need? Do we really need people to lose their jobs? It was actually pretty fierce, the conversation yesterday. More importantly than even that, watching our Fed monitor tool, and this is where we get confirmation of this concept. We see that the market has migrated from a 25 BPS hike that sat at about a 90% probability earlier this month. Now we are at a 71% probability of 50 BPS. Something to note though is that is down from yesterday. The only thing more volatile than Bitcoin right now is what the market thinks that the next Fed meeting on the 22nd, the FOMC, is going to hold. I mean, we saw this be almost a 0% probability. It went up into the 80s. Now it's back into the 70s. The market is definitely not confident what's going to happen on the 22nd. It's about 2 weeks away. And if markets don't like one thing, it's uncertainty. This is not great for markets. And we're seeing that reflected across crypto, across stocks. Very interesting actually what's going on here. So we're zoomed in. If you follow me on Twitter at tomcrown crypto, you should. You would have seen my tweet earlier. If you're in the Discord, maybe you saw it as well. I tweeted something essentially like this: Bitcoin breaking down, and I targeted these two levels of liquidity. Now, they can be found very easily. We could just look at the previous lows, right? Easy peasy. However, I used a tool for this, Lux Algo price action concepts, to find live order block data on the exchange, and that suggested a little bit higher. I originally had tweeted 20.3 or 20.5, but we're seeing a little more accurate, maybe. Time will tell. Lux Algo reading at around 20.7. Now we are, as of this moment, breaking down below it, or at least trading below it right now. But we did hit now at this point both of the downside liquidity targets. We had talked about these in previous streams. But what happens if they fail? Well, hopefully they don't. Hopefully we see a bounce here and we can move back up. But if they fail, we're going to go over the lower targets we would be looking at. So just peering at the chart, we have no signs of reversal at this point other than liquidity being tapped. And when that happens, we do tend to see price reverse, even if it's short-lived. We don't have signs of it yet, so at the moment I'm still aiming down. I do have a short open. But looking just at this chart, we may see slightly lower, again down to like 20.3, but a back test of this trend line. So this was our issue that we pointed out on the stream, I don't know, a while ago, a week ago, 2 weeks, I don't know. This pattern, ugly, ascending wedge or ascending channel, and they break to the downside. We always say that. Whether it's to the upside or downside on these channels, we always go with the probability, and we got that break. We got that break after some hesitation along that lower trend. We did see a breakdown, and that sent us lower. Now, what we don't have is a retest of that area as liquidity. So a fall down, whether it's 220.3 or potentially even lower, if we look at the daily, multiple moving average, where are you? Look at the daily, our 200, if I can get TradingView to work, which I usually can't. Where's my multiple? Sorry, guys. There we go. Which we usually can't, but we got it to work. If we look at our 200, right down, our 200 daily moving average, that also hasn't been back tested. We exploded through it with very inefficient price action, and now we may be seeing a return to the 200 daily. When we had all these interesting things going on at once, just 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago, we had the first ever Bitcoin death cross above us on the weekly and a golden cross below us on the daily. And when that was happening, I said it would not surprise me to see price tap both of these levels. That's what we see happen often. We haven't really ever seen that setup, but it does look like it's coming true. The 200 weekly was tested and rejected right up here around 25K. And now potentially, as we're trading below, man, 20.6. As we're trading lower, 19.7 is in sight. That's what it looks like. 19.7. That also lines up pretty well with the existing CME gap that we've talked about in many streams, actually. Pull this up too. Our existing CME gap right there. It starts at 20.4 thousand and ends at 19.995. This would be a pretty decent place. Pretty decent place. I think this might be a self-fulfilling prophecy even. I was just talking about the pattern, how it had no back test, and so a move, if I can, man, I did not plan on going live, but that's okay. If we can see the move touch, fill that gap, and potentially that's when we see the back test sitting around 22.1. Breaking that would be amazing, but at this point, we're looking down. Over the last few weeks, we have been watching total crypto market cap like a hawk. Let me pull this up. Like a hawk. We've been of the same opinion. As long as total's above its 200 weekly moving average at 987 billion, you can see that right here, we're going to be biased to the upside. If we lose that level, which is essentially what happened yesterday, we're going to change that bias to the downside. This is reflecting the total or global market cap of all cryptocurrencies added together, and the average size, I guess, of total over the last 200 weeks, so 4 years, is 987 billion. Being below that shows that the market is trending down. It's not a great call. It did break 9.36. We looked at this the last stream, and now again targeting that liquidity level, the same as BTC, just about 20 billion lower. 20 billion lower. Let me check back in. I did want to go over the analysis, but it seems like this is going to be one of those sit back and watch streams as we're getting live price action here. You can literally see the candles responding to this liquidity level, tapping it, testing it over and over again before breaking lower and essentially falling into free fall. Not great. I will say this, if you're a little concerned, the faster this happens, so if you're concerned of downside, the faster this happens, the better, in my opinion. I do not want to see this again. These slow, really almost energyless bounces. I want to see price rip down and explore whatever support it's got to explore. The faster the move, the closer to the end it is. That's true of parabolas in general, true of downside and upside. Okay, we have a little bit of chill on the 1 minute, so let's go back and let's look for potential supports. We did identify the 200 daily, 19.7, definitely a good target, but there's a lot to look at. Let's use our favorite tool, Ichimoku Cloud. Shout out to Ultra Chaos Steve too, for keeping the Discord up to date on the Ichi moves. Let's throw this bad boy on. So, using just the weekly, we are now at basically the KJ. We've talked about this as well many times on stream. I'm not going to go fully into Ichimoku Cloud or anything, but the KJ resting here, we said if we see downside price action, not a bad spot to find a bounce. This is typically very strong support or resistance, and it looks like it's about to be tested. That's at 20.38, which is interesting because that's the exact, It's like the exact original number I had for this liquidity zone right there, right at the bottom. Get rid of this quick. Right at the bottom of that January 18th wick low. But let's leave that on the chart because the week is definitely looking at it. Definitely looking at it. It looks like November's high before the fall here at 20.8. We have broken that. Now that is on a weekly time frame, so that's 3 days and 4 hours to settle up. And hopefully it can settle up above there, hold it as support, and at least begin retracing back to the upside. Not gonna pull that out yet. Hopefully. What a candle. Bitcoin down 5.4% today. It feels like so much more though, doesn't it? It feels like 25%. Feels pretty gnarly. Okay. Further targets. Let's use our fib tool. Now, I'm undecided if I want to take this from November's low, the real swing low, the lowest swing low, to the swing high, or if I want to basically just look at 2023 in a bubble. If we look at 2023 in a bubble, our 618, very close to that weekly level, so I'm not even going to mark it on our chart. Do it this way. If we see the week lose its KJ, we see that 19.7 fall. The next downside target, we're going to take that from December swing high resistance into a higher low and a break, and that's at about 18.3. What I also like about this is it's sitting right at the 618 retrace, so we would have two pieces of confluential, I don't know, of agreeing evidence here as support. Underneath this, it gets pretty damn ugly. I'm not gonna lie, guys, it gets very ugly. We have a poll going in the chat. Where will Bitcoin bottom? Did it bottom? Is it gonna bottom at 20K? Is it gonna bottom at 20K to 16.5 or 15.5 December's low? Or are we going lower? Please vote in the poll if you haven't yet. Please engage with the chat, everyone. That means let's get those like numbers up. We have over 500 viewers. Let's get 500 likes. We can do it, fam. Aaron Enabs taking the stream's scribe-ginity. Thank you for being the first subscriber of our live stream today, our emergency spice stream. If you're out there and you haven't subscribed, help us get to 100K. Smash that button. Smash all the buttons. Here we go. Cool. At least it's chilling out a tiny bit here. I'll take it. 1 minute still looks very ugly. 5 minutes still looks very ugly. 15 minute extremely ugly. 30 minute, let's just call it ugly. 45 minute ugly. Hour is absolutely ugly. This is beast mode to the downside here. In the last, 2-3 candles, we see marches or this month's money flow low was broken, and that's an ugly freaking pattern. You can see momentum remaining in the negative side, not even getting a chance into the positive. Bears in full control, at least at this point. The 4 hour not really looking any better with a lower low there. This is like 9 out of 10 bears. This is maybe 9 bears on cocaine. 9 bears on cocaine. Those are strong bears. 12 hour looks like garbage as well. Daily fading that money flow. This was our giveaway, man. That lower high, as soon as it wasn't eclipsed, as soon as we had another lower high, broke that low. Daily looking to roll over. Not great. Not great at all. If you guys want my personal opinion, know that it's always going to be shrouded in my perma bull status or mindset. I am betting to the downside. I'll show you guys my short. I'm betting to the downside at the moment, but I'm always bullish long term. So just know that when I say my opinion here, my opinion is the scenario that wrecks the most people. That the most people get liquidated, the most people have their stops removed, the most people end up with the least amount of money. And in my opinion, that scenario is right about here. Right about here. 20.3. I think that's about as low as we go. I bet we break it and it wicks back up. Now, I don't know what will happen after that. I think it'll depend on the approach. If it's fast and quick, if we see like a V-shaped recovery, I think we see a retracement pretty quickly back to that descending or ascending trend line. Excuse me. And at that point, man, I don't know. It's up to Yu-Gi-Oh! It's up to Destiny in the heart of the cards whether we're going to break back up, get to the 200, and keep going or not. At the moment, though, this looks pretty garbage. Pretty garbage. This would be, in my opinion, the ultimate pain scenario. Something like that. Essentially sweeping liquidity from your previous lows, where traders who longed back here likely are looking to stop just below, stop them out, move back up, get them to chase, etc. I also believe that will stop out longs, but I think it also is going to be a level where shorts look to take profit. And likely they're going to open at 20.3 on a break, targeting, well, we'll say like 17, 18K down here, and potentially the perma bears being back, targeting new multi-year lows. That's my opinion. There isn't a lot right now to back it up. This is just what I think is going to happen. Our indicator's not really reflecting that at the moment. That can change. Of course, things can change just into today's close, but that's what I have a hunch will happen. The reason, honestly, guys, is obviously my bias, but as well, when we see this kind of thing in crypto, when all of our indicators look bad, I will admit I have a bad time identifying this to the upside because of my bias, but maybe I need a little help from chat and going forward in the future when you catch me doing that. When everything looks really good, like it did back here, we had that flat top pattern, our lows were coming up, we were at the 200, everything looked good. That's when it reversed. And so a little move down farther is likely going to push all those time frames we looked at into kind of a lower low money flow scenario. Everything is going to look awful, and that, in my opinion, game theory, that's the time to rip the shorts by moving price back up, only to hit a lower high. That's likely going to happen. And again, even in that scenario, if we make it back to that trend line, that could easily be a rejection. You have a lower high, and now you're looking for more downside targets, further downside targets. What that would look like. 3, huh? That'd actually be really, really slick. I like that. If price does move from around that 20.3 back to 22.7, stopping out shorts, baiting in longs, I like this. If it does, then your measured move becomes essentially 18.3, which is that swing high. That was resistance, not tested as support. That would be pretty slick. That would actually be really slick. That would really wreck a lot of people. There we go. There we go. Make sure you guys are smashing the likes and subscribes. I can't believe we only have one person subscribed so far. Shout out to Aaron. You just keep the cup for today. If you're new here, join us. We're live pretty much every day at this point, giving you the latest, the greatest, the cutting edge of TA. We are also the fastest growing crypto brand, TA crypto brand on the internet. Be a part. We've been doing this for 4 years. No hype, no chill channel. We're just doing charts and trades. Let me find my trade somewhere. Where are you? That's up. Okay. So this is one of my more degen, also later to the punch trades. If you saw this screenshot in the Discord, you would have seen the opening price was actually around 21.8. Unfortunately, yeah, 21.8. So I did hit essentially this lower high into the drop, but the reason now the entry is down here is I in degen fashion added pretty largely to this short right around there. Where's that little arrow? It usually tells you. Can't find it. Added to the short, moving my entry to about 21.150. It's not my favorite. If I would have taken a little more time, this was a quick trade. It wasn't planned. I likely would have gone a little lighter, so my entry could have been higher. I moved the stop to 21.111. I don't feel great about that, to be honest. I think that's around the target that I would look to sweep liquidity at if I was a market maker. So I might change that up. I might move it down to take profit a little more aggressively. I don't know. But currently the profit's up, or the trade's up like $200. If it was not added to, that P&L percent would be like 140 right now. It's only up 43% because I added. If you understand leverage, you'll get what I'm saying. But short's live. Short is live, man. Not as comfortable as being up here at 21.8. But, I mean, my stop's in profit. This is going to be a harder one to lose at this point. I have been experimenting with more breakout trades. I've long been against them. But I've been experimenting with them because of, they're exciting, and I've had some success lately. I do want to update you guys as well on my forever ago long. I longed at the end of last year with some size. That position's still up $2,600 or 150%. The problem is as price is moving lower, that is going down, and I don't like that. This was up almost $6,000 back in, late February, now down to 2,600. My problem, and this is just Bitcoin as a market, isn't it? My problem is, where do I want to close this? Because logically, you'd say, okay, well, if you break 20.3, then your structure is broken, and then you're likely moving down. However, that is the level that I've identified as the most likely to see some kind of retracement after it sweeps liquidity. So I'm in a bit of a pickle. I'm in a bit of a pickle, and I find myself kind of being annoyed with myself for not listening to myself here. Because when we identified this, I said, if it breaks the lower trend, then we're likely going down to these liquidity levels. And I should have, isn't hindsight the master, man? I should have closed that long at 22.3. Like, I just should have. That's not very productive. It's not helpful to say that now. But I knew, like, I said it, and then I didn't do it. And that's a great learning lesson for you guys. Making a plan is super, super valuable. You have to have a plan in trading. If you just trade randomly, you're just giving your money away. The problem is it's not only hard to come up with a plan for some people, but then step 2, sticking to that plan, is by far the hardest part of trading. If you can get over those two things, you're probably a winner. But there are times when you just forget, user error, and you literally sit there going, man, I'm dumb. I said that this would happen, but then I didn't adjust my position. So, little learning lesson, guys. Everyone loses trades. Everybody. Anyone who tells you that they don't lose trades, anyone who tells you they have like a 100% win rate or like a 90 something, they're lying 90% of the time, or the 10% that aren't lying are taking trades with a risk to reward less than 1. If you have a risk to reward less than 1, you should be winning you should be winning like 90% of the trades. The problem is that 10% you don't ends up drastically being a larger loss than your wins. Anyway, I didn't want to ramble about it. Didn't want to ramble, but those are updates on the live positions. And here we are, man. We had 10 minutes of the weakest, dribbliest bounce that I've ever seen. No, I'm just kidding. It's not that weak. But it is extremely weak. This is hardly a bounce at all. Not the V-shaped recovery that we want to see off of whatever or however low this goes. Like, just looking at this isn't even a good trend line. Just kind of placed there. And it didn't even make it back up. It's pretty gross. Something like this, maybe descending wedge. Just breaking out the bottom. Breaking out the bottom. Let's set another alert here. Let's set another alert. And let's look at the chart a different way. Yeah, it's looking pretty good. .5 in this trend line, that'd be a pretty good target. I'll place a horizontal here for you. Click 22.5. That looks pretty dandy. Let me check in on the poll in the chat. If you're here, make some noise. Let me shout you out. We have 700 votes. It looks like 32% of us looking for the 20K CME gap. That is, of course, a great target. It's a great price to look at. Much better than any random given price. 29% are looking for lower than 20K, but not a new low this year. And 22% are still on the bear side, looking for lower lows versus 22. That is quite a sentiment shift. That's quite a sentiment shift. Let's do a little review. In 23, as it opened in January, everyone was bearish. Everyone was bearish. even I wasn't super bullish. Like, we had traded sideways. We hadn't made any progress. We had just fallen and fallen and fallen. We had a long string of green candles. January actually got pretty hype. Pretty hype, moving 45% basically in the month. February, we basically just traded sideways. And that hype really cooled down. People stopped saying huge targets, etc. And we started hearing the bearish narrative return. In March, now it seems, as March has traded what, just down? Except for the first day. Now people, it looks like in this chat, in a perma bull YouTube stream chat. Now you guys are welcome to always be bearish or perma bearish. But typically we lean more bullish. That's 40, 50%, 83% looking for lower. And 50% looking for, I'll call like significantly lower. Even 1/4 looking for a new low this year. That shows me that the bearish sentiment absolutely was not dead. It went into a little hibernating, took a little rest, but it has returned very fiercely. And I actually view that as a good thing. As a good thing. As price moves up, when people get bullish, that does tend to be usually when it starts retracing. When people are skeptical of a rally, saying this isn't real, it's just a trap, bull trap, usually that's when you continue. And now to see this is it. This is it. That has changed that sentiment from very excited to 1/4 looking for lower lows in the year and roughly 80% thinking we have more downside. That's a huge shift in mentality. If you think about maybe just from here, this point, January 15th, to right now, these are the same price. Consider the difference in sentiment between these two. Right here, everyone rather euphoric. Getting euphoric, not euphoric. Here, everyone now pretty scared, it looks like. Same price. Same price. A little bit of a divergence there. What would that maybe suggest? Well, if it takes the same route, maybe we see little pullback. That actually would line up. Basically what? 1, 2, 2, 3 kind of tests of a low. Maybe that brings us to 18.5. Something like this. I don't know. But as we get more bearish while price drops, the closer we are to the bottom, that I can tell you through my 6-7 years of crypto, living in crypto world, when people's sentiment agrees with the direction, usually the bottom is close. We'll see. I told you what I think will happen, but it's really not backed up by anything other than, this is what I think will wreck the most people. Our indicators not showing us great signs, and I would say especially not just right here at 20.5, definitely 20.3. This is where many stop losses are resting. That's why we're speculating it's going to break, or at least see a wick. I would like to see a V. I'd like to see this. Kind of looks like it's going to do it right now, doesn't it? Here we go, maybe. Here we go? Question mark? There we go. We broke a low. Now we're at 20.5. We might be catching the dump live. Rare. That's rare. We don't usually catch the dumps live. Man, this market's being savage. Look at how it's basically drawing flats, hitting stops, breaking down, hitting stop, or like creating a flat, baiting orders. Just like inching down, hitting stops, boom. We hit that same level, just barely broke it. We get this little bounce. That shows you that as price is moving down, traders are moving their orders and their stop losses down with price. That's why if we do reach 20.3 today, I do expect some kind of bounce, some kind of jolt off of it, as that will sweep up basically what, maybe 3 months worth of long orders potentially just by breaking that low. If you do that and then move back up, you've effectively shed a lot of the weight from those leverage long positions, and you do make it easier to move up after that. But we ain't looking about moving up quite yet. I need to see something on these charts. I need to see total close this day. Honestly, we just got to close this day. That's really how it feels for me, to me. This day's got to close, and then we'll see what the bulls have in the next day. I did is the bottom in, or is the sell off over essentially? Because I have a feeling that we're gonna get the low today or possibly tomorrow, but I'm feeling with the speed of this and the levels it's broken through, kind of feels like a one-day event to me. I got a million freaking alerts, and so we're not going to be able to go through them all. Damn, 77 alerts. We're not going to be able to go through all these charts, but I'm going to pull up really quickly a bunch of them. Pull up a bunch of them just to peek in here. Doge break into a new 23 low. Does have support at 6 cents below, and you damn well better hope that holds, man. You better hope. Let me do it this way. Filecoin. Oh, this isn't fun. This doesn't pull up my TA. I don't want to have to do them all like this, though. Oh, well. Not the right Filecoin. God. Hold on one sec. Okay, let's take a peek at Filecoin here quick. This is not Filecoin. Wow, I'm struggling. I'm struggling today. Okay, well, I'm not going to do full analysis because I guess I'm going to pull up my chart. But Filecoin, after reaching up to like 10 bucks, now down at 550. On the week, that's definitely looking like some kind of support. It was resistance. Potentially there's a trade there with a stop below 450, something like that. Please don't blindly copy my trades. You will lose money. Something like this, targeting the wicks. That could be decent. Doesn't really appear that it has much more support below it. You really just have inefficient price action on the way up. So if you lose 450, you're likely re-exploring those lows down at 2 and change. Wow, so many alerts, dude. I can't there's no way we can get to them all. Let me see if I can just pull up a bunch of them. Wow, they just keep rolling in too. This is a spicy day. You can always tell it's gonna be a spicy day when you get lots of alt alerts, even if Bitcoin hasn't broken or hasn't moved. That was my tip off last night. I started getting alerts that we haven't gotten in a long time. So I just pulled up Cardano ADA. I'm gonna pull up Link. I'm gonna pull up SHIB. I pulled up RPL. RPL, ooh boy, ooh boy. It's looking good. Oh, but wait, let me pull up more. CRV SHIB. Let's pull up Dash. We got to look at SPX and the dollar. Meant to do that earlier. I goofed up. So this is another piece of that. Why is crypto going down? Why is it crashing explanation? Whew, I was excited on the 3rd. S&P 500 retook its 200 daily moving average, unfortunately hit a lower high and now has traded back below that 200. You can see this long potential setup here, now underwater. Do not want to see it close below its 200 day, especially not on a weekly time frame. So it's got a day basically at this point. Trading stops very soon. Or it already did? No. Trading stops in 22 minutes. Like to see it back above 3,094. I mentioned this in the beginning and then goofed up. I didn't show you. Crap. This is the unusual charts that I was talking about earlier. In the beginning of the show, I said we have a lot of interesting, kind of unusual price action going on. And here you go. The dollar yesterday closed nasty little gravestone doji, we'll call it. Wick on the top, wick on the bottom, thin red body. Today, dumping down farther, hitting lower lows after rejecting from January 6th resistance at 105.63. This is why it's weird. This is weird. So at the moment, and kind of contrary to most of our observation and experience, we have the dollar trending down on a red day, along with the stock market, along with Bitcoin, which literally just broke lower as I was looking at alt charts and crap. Wow, really moving down to that 20.3. Very unusual. Very unusual. Now, gold is having a green day. It is still trading very inversely to the dollar, but this seems to be the only thing really following that correlation at the moment. Typically, when the dollar would move down, we would see Bitcoin and stocks move up. That's logical. Gold as well. However, just gold seems to be having a green day today, which is very odd and doesn't really fit our observations. Here we go. We're still dumping live. It doesn't end. Doesn't end, baby. Doesn't end. Let's check on this trade. This trade that was up 40%, now up 72%. I'm feeling I should definitely move the stop. What do you guys think? A nice little 70%er. Only a few $100 in profit. Only a few. Maybe instead of a stop, I should pick a TP. When I get into these short positions, I don't really like picking a TP, although I showed you guys on the stream a little bit ago that close at 22, literally on the trend line. Now we don't really have a trend line. I don't really know what I want to do with it. I could place it at 20.3. That'd probably be a pretty strong trade. I just love moving the stops down. The problem is when you move the stops down, eventually it hits the stop and not the TP. And you end up with a smaller amount of money. But that trade, that ad, man. This short ad right here is so unlike me. So uncharacteristic of the tomcrown trading style. I had a good entry, but I just felt it. It was like, I need to add. I need to FOMO add. And usually that doesn't work out. So please be careful. It just so happened to this time. I'll take the W. Take the dub. 20.7. You know what? I'm just going to move it down. I'm just going to move the stop down because sometimes just got to be that way. At least for the ad. For the ad, I'll move it down. Move that up a little bit more. Okay. Move the stop down, really just targeting that previous high. This price action has had no breaks of highs. No breaks, just down. Just lower highs, lower highs, lower highs, lower lows. So this is one of those few times where I'm going to set this pretty tight with my invalidation being, I don't know, before you reverse, you're going to have to break some kind of high. And so break above 20.7 and you can have some of my short position back. That's my logic. We'll update you if that goes off. Swooping down plain style. Swooping. 20.3, here we go. Why are people shorting into 12-hour RSI? They're either scalping like I am right now, or they don't know what they're doing and they're emotionally trading. Those would be my guesses. What's up, David? Are you enjoying this dump? What's up, Wick? My man, Aaron, the only person subscribed today. Aaron says we might see a reaction from the Asian market. That would be welcomed. That would be welcomed. If you guys want to know some secret sauce, a little bit of secret sauce. This isn't something I always talk about on stream because I think that it sounds uncredible. You sound discredited when you talk about it. But there is one more thing that's factoring into... There's one more thing that's factoring into why I think the low is going to be in today or tomorrow. Now, I warned you, and you're going to see it. You're gonna get it now. Here's a discrediting. It just sounds bad, but goddamn if it's not true. Yesterday, or March 7th, yesterday, the 8th, we had a full moon. Now, I don't believe a full moon dictates markets, but I'll be damned. There is absolutely a correlation between full moons and new moons and market swings. Typically, in my observation of Bitcoin, full moons within 3 days see a swing low. 3 days. The opposite is true of a new moon. Within 3 days, we usually see a swing high. I have a video on it if you want to see some kind of reasoning, but in reality, I don't know. Moon phases every 2 weeks, or every 4 weeks for a total cycle. Bitcoin mining readjusts every 2 weeks. 2 weeks, it also matches like menstrual periods. Like it's just a natural kind of amount of time in a cycle. in the universe. And I'll be damned. That's part of my calculation today. Knowing that the full moon is right behind us makes me think that the low is going to be in here soon. Now, if you're hearing this for the first time, don't be fooled into thinking that means just because the low is in, that means, you know, there's no more downside. Typically, if we're going to look at it, let's pretend this is days and days. We usually see something like maybe this with your full moon right here or slightly after. And you see price maybe just kind of meander back to the range into 14 days later when you get the new moon. Put that up here like this. And usually you see a swing high. And so basically it's just describing a 2-week cycle of selling and then a 2-week cycle of buying. So when we say within 3 days the low is in with new moons or the high is in with full moons, what we're really saying is it's just a probable, let's say local low or local high, not like the low is in forever kind of thing. That wouldn't make any sense. But if you go back and you look at in the moon phases on TradingView, it's probably going to creep you out a lot. I'll put it on for you for a second. Probably going to creep you out. So to everyone who just LOL'd in chat and said he's been doing a little too much 420 lately. Well, you'd be right. You'd be right. However, man, these blue dots are the new moons. The gray dots are the full moons. Tell me that isn't something. Tell me that isn't something. Like, there are some misses. It's not 100%, but I don't know. It's one of the most reliable things. It's pretty wild. See your swing high over here. Swing high here. Your swing low. So this is kind of what I'm looking for in the same aspect here. Right here. June. Price fell. We had the full moon. It fell a little more, but then it began recovering. It did go lower. But I'll be damned, dude. Like, look at May. If you look at May, just in this little momentum leg, you have your swing low very close, or your new moon very close to your swing low, and then your full moon, boom, is exactly at May's high. So I'm not telling you guys to believe this or that you should trade based on or anything like that. I'm just saying this is a little secret sauce that I do kind of keep in my pocket. There we go. 20.3 has broken. And goddamn, if we don't see a bounce here, it might be better for the midterm if we don't. I still highly expect we do. It could move a little lower. I mean, hell, 20,000 is only 1.5% away from this anyway. Maybe that's a low. I don't know. There we go. But I do expect a bounce. There are lots of orders being stopped out. Lots of longs closing here. Volume not really kicking up yet on Coinbase. It's up a little bit. It's up a little bit, basically, since today started. And it is trending up. It's trending up after that fall. Here we are. There we are, man. 20.1 here. The 20K voters might have won. Let's check in on CME because it doesn't really matter what price it trades at on other exchanges when it comes to gaps. It only matters what it trades on CME. So let's zoom in on CME. Now, something to know about CME is if you are not an institutional accredited investor, whatever guy who uses it, the data on TradingView is not exactly real time. So when we look at CME, we see, oh, it just like flirted with, it really hasn't progressed far, right? Why has spot progressed so much farther? Well, the reason being is CME has a delay. They delay their API data to like everyone except for their bigwigs. So just judging by this, I would guess it's about 10 minutes behind. We saw Bitcoin do that same move, break lower. So on CME, if you want to see me look like a psychic, this is what it's going to look like over the next few candles. Oh my God, he knew the future. Well, I know the future if it's 10 minutes delayed. But CME has not has begun filling the gap, but is not completely actually. So far, only at 20.375. Spots traded down to 20.1. Wow. Here we are. Here we are. Everyone who got bullish in 2023 for the first time, this is your first test of that bullishness. I promise you, being the resident permabull of YouTube over the years through the bear markets, I can promise you your will be tested. Your belief will be tested. It will be challenged. Not many people make it through. It is incredibly hard to buy and hold Bitcoin, apparently, for a normal person. Incredibly hard. If you think this is bad, I can almost guarantee if we do just see a higher low of some kind here and we run up, this will not be the worst. This will not be the most painful drop. It will be much more painful, much more emotionally triggering drops. Whoop, looks like that stop was good. I could move it down again. Our trade now 100% in profit, 100% up. A nice $450 dues in P&L. Our stop loss moved safely into profit. Safely into profit. Sorry, I got a bunch of screens up. Ugly. All right. Pulling up the chat, refreshing the chat. What are you guys thinking? Seek competent financial advice. Yes. I do not give financial advice. If that's what you're looking for, you're on the wrong place. What's up, Bulldog Board at DGen Crypto Club? I like that name. How low will Doge go? That's a good question. How low will Doge go? I just had it pulled up. Maybe I closed it. What's up, Zakir? Most of them will not have money to buy at 8K. That's one of the most compelling arguments to me about the low of last year. The low of last year came at such a good time for no one to have money. Nobody had money at the end of the year. Nobody. How low will Doge go, man? I'm looking at probably 6 cents flat. If it breaks its June low, Doge has a lot of pain ahead. We have been talking about this. You guys know who have been here. I have been a Doge bull longer than Elon, longer than probably anyone you know. I made a ton of money in 21 on this, but in the last few months, maybe in the last year, we've been looking at that inefficiency and price action for Doge and saying, man, that does not look good. That looks very bad. Price wants to fill in that inefficiency. It wants to make the market efficient again. If it breaks 5 cents, we may be looking as low as 1.5 cents. If you see a total retracement of all of that inefficiency, you're all the way back to under a penny. Now, I'm not saying that's going to happen. 5 cents very well may hold. We may not even see a full test of 6. But when we're looking down, we're under the 200 on total. We have a downside bias. That's right. That's so ugly, man. Just so ugly. This is interesting as well, too. So if we look at total, we actually see something. No, that's the same. I'm not used to this chart now because so much has changed in one day. Correction. True on both Bitcoin and total. We have taken out January 18th's pullback, we'll call it. We now have a lower low versus February. Not versus January, but versus February. And what is it? It's the 9th. The Ides are 6 days away. Shit. I really would like to see a big sell-off on March 15th at some point. Doesn't have to be this year. Just so I can, like, forever then say beware the Ides of March. I'm gonna get rid of that because that's not a real line. That is some inefficient price action, dude. Look at these gaps. Look at these fair order. fair value gaps. Look at these. All this gap. This was a gap, but it closed the gap. All this gap. No real gap or inefficiency up here. Wow. That's a lot of gapping. And while that is scary, that is what you want. If you want a bull market or something to appear or generate or spawn, if you want it, you have to have pullbacks. But more importantly than pullbacks, you want to see deep retracements that are bought up quickly. So I will say this. Do I think the bottom is in? Even though earlier in the stream I said I think it will just break 20.3 and then bounce, which may still happen, actually. It may still happen, but to me this doesn't look like a real bottom. This could be the formation of like a short-term local bottom. Although it is shaping up. It's shaping up a little bit. It needs to really move up. It needs to really move up. We have to see a bottom that doesn't allow people to open longs. So trading sideways for long periods allows too many longs in. To get a very confident bounce, you want to see this. You want to see sellers in full control hit a wall, buyers come in and reverse price. That could still paint out here, but I mean, it's got to pick up the pace. It's already kind of moving too slow. Our indicators are still 9 out of 10 bears on cocaine. That's the most bearish signal, the most cocained up bears we've ever had. There we go. There we go. Let's do it. Cocained up bears. Back to the chat. Go long, people, you're warned, says Mr. Crypto Bitcoin Charts. A man of my own thoughts. Man of my own thoughts. Looking to play the stop loss as your entry. CME. Oh, look at that. Tom's the psychic. CME continues to trade lower. Duh. Actually, I remember tweeting this too. My bearish outlook. Liquidity tapped. Structure broken. Structure broken. Noob panic. They see structure break, they go short. So what are we going to do? As a market maker, what are we going to do? We're going to drive price back up. We're going to stop out those shorts. We're going to probably teeter with this line, probably break through it, maybe wick down below, maybe close a candle or two before falling. Bait in longs. Oh no, my line. Let's go to the cleaner chart. There we go. Bait in longs just to dump the market, and now you've basically refreshed your fuel tank for dumping. With all these inefficiencies down and very little retracement, the fuel on the bear side grows weaker. All you need is some kind of retracement to get liquidity back, and you can dump away. Now, I don't know about this 18.3. This is just what I think based on what I'm seeing right now, but nothing looks bullish right now, so there really isn't much evidence for this. This is really just trading the chart, not really trading indicators at the moment. That's kind of interesting. So I just pulled up the 14-day, not a time frame I look at a lot, but I was talking about 2 weeks, and I figured I'll talk more about 2 weeks. So when I pulled it up, I noticed that as of the end of December, very interesting actually, the end of December, right around here, money flow turned red. money actually began exiting the market on a 2-week time frame after, let's see when it turned green. Turned green right back here. So money entered all throughout here, and right here was essentially when the market broke even, we'll say. But what caught my eye right now is this. The last time this happened on the 14-day, so this isn't even 2 weeks, this is 14 days, which is weirdly actually a different time frame. We were right here. Right here. Make that a little more exact. Is that right? Yep, right there. Pretty interesting. Pretty interesting because throughout this rally, I have been watching 2019. We've said this like at the start of the year when I predicted this quarter would be green, although maybe it won't be. We'll find out. This movement hitting basically a 618 retracement, hitting previous monthly closes back here from the all-time high, and then retesting the lows. And I said that could look something like this. A move to the 48, 42, 48 area, something like that. That would fit the same retracement, etc., etc. And as everyone started looking at it, I said this is probably less likely to happen now. So what's interesting to me is that on this time frame, and maybe it's cherry picking. I didn't pick it out because of this. I just opened it randomly, and this is what I saw. But because of this, on this time frame, price action is more reminiscent of here than it is back here, which is kind of surprising. Which might be good. That might be a good thing. Maybe that suggests we do have a lower low to go. Maybe that does point at 13, 8, 10, etc. Maybe it does. We don't know. Maybe it does. But what it would look like if it's following this path is that low, that's the kind of bottom that we're looking for. What I was just explaining on really low time frames. Sellers in full control, they hit a wall, and they lose control. They lose total control. So that would maybe look more like we're re-entering into 2020 than it would 2019. But this is all speculation because I don't really know what else to do. There's too much stimulus today. We streamed for 7 freaking hours over the last 2 days. Now we're going to make it probably 10 today. Hobby, what's up, Mr. Stone? The Huobi chart. I don't know, man. Does anyone actually use that exchange? I have been super skeptical of them since I heard the name. I was like, I can't say the name. If I can't say the name, I don't trust it. How can I tell people who harmed me, who wronged me? Where is this? What? Crypto. Huobi? What? Why is it not here? Why is it not here? Where is it? Oh, Mr. Steve from opticalart.com, my dude. What are you doing? What are you up to? You enjoying this sell-off, my friend? Why is it not here? You know what? Let's just pull up their chart then. Let's see what their chart's doing. Trading a little lower than the rest of the market. Looks like they hit 20.7. 20,000. I don't know what that would really suggest. I'm not really sure like how to read into that. It does show that people on Huobi or whatever, they are looking to probably get out of there. I mean, that's the only sign I could say. More extreme dumping than the rest of the market. I don't know. Honestly, I would say it's probably they're just not liquid because they're a crap exchange. Wolfpack, what's up, my dude? Been a long time since we've seen Wolfpack. How you doing, brother? Are you worried about the Mt. Gox coins, man? I'm not. I'll tell you that. I am not. I'm not. Every single year we have that FUD. No fail since like 2014. IO not Valentine Macris. When do I go live again? Tomorrow. Tomorrow, 10:30 a.m. East. It's already scheduled out. Already scheduled. Make sure you tune in tomorrow. We just went live kind of emergency style because it's spicy as hell today. We've got 1,400 viewers, only set 400 likes. Do you not like the show? Are you not entertained? We went live on a non-scheduled day to cover the spice for you. You can return the favor by subscribing, liking, sharing. We do have a bunch of new subscribers. What's up? Mohammed Abdel Fattah, Alan Armstrong, Nikola Dimitrov, Manila, Michael Caswell, Jeb 081998, Haru Lily, Brian, Tony V, Sal Iscano, John Edos, Dexter Lab, Mark Willington, Monty Oppenheim. Keep subscribing, guys. We are rocketing to 100K, and we're beating Bitcoin, and we'll keep beating Bitcoin with your help. So keep subscribing. And let's get those likes up to 1,000. Like, what are we doing? What are we doing? You are very entertained. Thank you, Steve B. Thank you. What's up, Meme Ticks? Learn with Market. Jiri. Freak. Background cover is messed up at the top left. Oh, you know what's happening? The sun's coming in. Sec. Yeah, the sun's coming in. We don't usually stream at this time, so I don't have the windows set up. I don't have a way of blocking that. So it's just going to be kind of like in the shadows stream. Kip Wombat joining the broship. Welcome, Kip. Akmach Yusuf. Saren Santu. Shady MK. Paul Carpenter. JLP27. Mohammed again. Keeps it. Great job. Great job. You heard the call and you listened. And you're joining us. Akmach Yusuf. I think I got that one already. Oh, welcome again. New people, make sure to join the Discord. You'll get free BTC after the live stream, just for being in there. We have hit the lower liquidity target. It was at 20.3. We are seeing what is now the first sign of a bounce that we've seen at all. However, I do caution everyone. I do caution you. We swept liquidity. Boom! There's some good news. I got distracted. There's Kit. I got distracted. The good news is that CME gap is now filled. Officially. We have filled the CME gap. Let's tweet about it. Shall we? We do have a new one above us. From the open of today. Hilarious. And just like that, a door closed and a window opened. Gap filled. Here in the darkness. Tweeting. Hold on. That's just a solid tweet. It's not even a good tweet, just solid. Informational. Informational, not clickbaitable. There it is. CME gap filled. That's actually big news. That's been open for a long time. If you guys want to retweet or like that, links in the chat. It's been a long time. That gap was from the mid of January, so it's been about a month, 2 months. Gap's gone, baby. Just like that. Ta-da. Gap's filled. Are we going down lower? Interesting that it filled. It didn't fill on spot exchanges so far. Wait, how about I did the same low? Was I missing something? Bro tip, my dude. How you doing, man? Donkey Punch, Curd Chief. Any ideas for Solana? Good luck. Conscious Trader. How you doing, brother? Punjava. Buy and spot best. I agree. Spot trading is the best. Spot trading is the best. I think spot's available at both of our sponsored exchanges, Bybit and Fair Desk. Links in the video description below. Sign up using my links to help support the stream for free. LA Ray, bottom in. This is my opinion. This is my opinion. I'll pull it up. This is my opinion. There's no guarantees, obviously. I don't even see really technical. I don't even see like technicals pointing to this yet, which is often the case though. If the low is in here, this is what I'm looking at for now. If those technicals change, This projection will change as well, but we had this, we had crafted this before we actually hit these levels during the stream. When we started the stream, we were up here around, I don't know, like 20.8, something like that. This is what I'm looking for. I'm actually gonna get rid of this. This is what I'm looking for. We've been watching these, talking about these, and a retracement was likely if we got one to bring us below 20.3. Why? Because that is where the liquidity was. A move back under 20.3 in a bounce is, in my opinion, the max pain move. You're going to stop out longs that were open down here. You're going to bait in shorts. And then you're going to squeeze those shorts back to right around 22.3. You know, it actually might be quicker because that's a bunch of days out. Let's say like that. 22.4, I like that number better. What happens there, I don't know, and it obviously might not even make it there. But this is what I think is the most logical move where market makers can sweep the most liquidity. This is what I'm looking at. The faster the move happens, the lower the upside target. So if it dicks around, that target can move up with that trend line. That trend line was tested as support. 1, 2, 3 touches to it. Then we had these little daily tests. It broke. Now we'd be looking for a test of that support as liquidity resistance. So I'm looking for like 22.4. Looking for 22.4. If there's no strong reaction here, which we haven't seen yet. We haven't seen any kind of real reaction yet. We then just start looking for lower targets, right? 18.3, really a good target. There is something here at 19.7 from the week. The KJ. I would like to see that hold. And then you're on your own. I mean, under that, you're on your own. It's like you can look at 15.5. You could say, I don't know, 16.3-ish down here. But really, once you get down to these targets, you're probably just looking for a new low. And if we get that new low, my hope, I don't think this is happening yet, but if it does, my hope is that we see a very V-shape capitulation, high volume, quick movement. Lots of wicks. Not giving market participants time to reposition on the move down, nor the corresponding move up. Retaken 20.3 and the 1 minute finally, so this looked like garbage all throughout the stream. The 1 minute, our lowest time frame, is showing a little bit of rolling over action. The 5 minute finally showing some signs of it, but not confirming it yet. When we did this earlier, everything looked absolutely the worst. It still looks really bad. Still looks very bearish. Let's bounce. I agree. Mini bounce before 18. Well, that's, I say this a lot. It's like markets are, they're like bow and arrows. If you want to go one way, you got to pull the bow back the other way. We've dropped a good amount. Doesn't mean we can't drop more or steeper. But in order to refuel, you got to pull that arrow back. And that usually means when you see big drops, you see slower retracements, you see moves back in the other direction. That's pulling the bow. Same thing when you're moving up. You see price sell off. That's pulling the bow back. Allowing bulls to essentially re-up their position, etc. Now, this line I painted, or this doodle I painted here, is what I think I would need to see for this to be convincing, at least even back to like that 22.4. Reason being, you have inefficiency. You hit our level where we were looking for the most liquidity. And so to move back to that inefficiency would be great, but you need to see it. I need to see it move sharply. We don't really have that yet. How long this is taking is honestly a little troubling, but that can change. And if this is going to happen, it changes very quickly. This is good for now. For now, this is good. See a little reaction even at that 20.3. This is good for now. But it does need to not just move up. It needs to move up and continue to accelerate up. Kind of the same way it did on the way down. If you could do that, then you're likely breaking that downside parabola. Parabola. Probably even all the way back here, isn't it? Yeah, it is. Just for doodle's sake, always be very skeptical of these curved lines, especially be very skeptical of any analyst who uses very thick lines like this curved one is, and you'll notice curved lines are always the thickest. Thick lines are just less accurate. Like, instead of this thin line being at one value, this curved line represents like a range of values. And curved lines in general are just weird. I just don't think they're good trading tools. But just to get the idea, seeing that selling pressure move parabolically, and basically what that's describing is only lower highs and only lower lows. So to move back up here with strength at like 21.4, that's good, but really, you got to see a high break, right? You got to see a high break to trend back up. And at the moment, it's slim pickings, man. It is slim ass pickings. Like, the 1 minute looks like it's rolling over. It's again losing some money flow. Again, trending back down a little bit, rejecting that rollover. Ooh, Professor Beans is here. You guys want to see Professor Beans? She came to grace us with some analysis. Are you bearish or bullish? What do you think? He's like, I'm not bearish or bullish. I'm scared. Thank you for that insightful commentary, Professor Beans. She looked bullish. I agree. She's my dog, so she gotta be bullish if she wants treats, right? She wants them sweet treats. She's gotta be a bull. What's up, Braden Hansen, Maritas TV, Anas Ben Talha. No one beat me in all caps. Ayusha Sharma, Trade RK, Inception Trading, Fox Physique, subscribing as I'm shouting them out. Keep them coming, guys. Keep them coming. Let's pump our numbers. Let's pump them. Well, you got a nice 1,300 viewing, great numbers. I don't know what's going on with the likes. We don't even have 1,000. Kind of sad. Kind of sad. We could do better. I have higher standards for you guys. It's because I know you can do better. And I cannot keep up with this chat. A Doge will come into your life. What breeds? So I had the DNA test done. And surprise, she's mostly Chihuahua, which is the weirdest thing I'd ever imagined that she would be. She's got some different like pit breeds, some beagle breeds or something, terrier breeds, I don't know. She's a mutt. She's a baby mutt. Ooh, Crypto Surge. Have I ever heard of Divicoin? Not only have I ever heard of Divicoin, I know the creator of Divicoin. Great dude. Great dude. I don't think I actually ever got any Divicoin, but I know him. Great dude. Next poll, Matthew, what should the next poll be? What's up, Bruno? Let's go. What about ADA? I didn't pull up ADA, but I wonder if our short TP'd and our long opened. Let's take a peek. Oh, he's so good. Man, this... You just can't do better than that. Can't do better than that. ADA. Just clockwork. Holy shit. We waited for 41.6 cents to short for how long? Like, we came up late January, happened mid-February, like a month of just being right below it. February 14th, 15th, finally hit 41.6 cents. Did not go much higher. We said, I'm going to look to hold this short and then flip to long at 31.1 cents. Looks like it's traded down to 30 on the dot. Masterful freaking trade. Holy shit. There's a 25% take to the downside. Now looking to long it back up to 41.6, 33%. We'll see. We'll see. Hopefully the market catches bids here. Our stop just below the 618 at the moment, and that's just below 29.7 cents. So we nailed this. Well done. Well done. Well done, anybody who did this play. This was just like pro AF. Because it looked to go short basically at the moment everyone was long. Like at the retest again of the 200 at 25K. That was the path less traveled, and it looks like it played out. Nice. Really against the grain on that short there. I remember people in the chat being a little disturbed by the comment. So there we go. Looking to stop underneath the 618 or looking left, these wick lows on November of 22. ADA, if it holds here, looks awesome. Looks great if it holds here. Drops below 29 cents. It's looking a little dangerous, a little knifey. All right, Bitcoin's chilling. The CME gap filled after opening a new gap above it at 21.8 to 22.1. Bitcoin has hit our lower liquidity target, 20.3, and now putting in the first semblance of a bounce. It isn't quite there yet, as we were talking about, but did not see anything like this on the way down, so potentially maybe building at least a return to 21.4. Further downside targets for the corn. On the week, you have your Kaijun. Very important level. Right there. Or right there. You can even see today traded lower. And then, bloop, right back above. In 3 days, 3 hours, we'll be very much watching to see a close above that. That's such a good level. Our Kaijun, hopefully acting as support there. On the day, we have... Wow, that's cool. I didn't even see that. Right at the bottom of the daily cloud for support. Now we are seeing some twists, which is not good. Change of wind, but it has not fallen out of the cloud, so it's actually okay for now. Trading much lower will really bunk that up for the day. Moving averages are 100 right there at our price. Our 200 untested, 19.7. Now that would be a logical spot to bounce to. Maybe actually the most painful would be a return to the trend. And then just down to 19.7 for a slightly lower low. That might be the most painful. Underneath those levels, you have your high in December at 18.3. That matches up really well with your Fibonacci retracement, your 618. Very, very close. About 16.6 to 16.3. Good target. Below that, it's a crapshoot. Below that, it's like if you lose that, retesting your lows becomes rather possible, if not probable. And then we go back to those ancient freaking numbers that we haven't talked about in forever. If we do see the low break, the low of 22, we have 13.8. It's 14K on Binance, 13.8 on Coinbase. That is maybe the second most important downside support in all of Bitcoin. 13.8. Very logical level. If you look left, this is just the king of freaking levels. There it is. It's your high in 29. It was your monthly close December of 17 where the top was in. Really important level. Below that is the most important. The most important, and this is a range. I'm going to call it 10.5. It really is a range of like 10.75 to 10.5, but that is the last line in the stand. I would bet almost anything that it will not break that. I don't believe it will test it, but if it does, I highly, 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 highly doubt that it will break. This is just everything. This is a whole previous generation of Bitcoin investors looking to get back in at that price. It's the price it took off from in September of 2020 to new all-time highs. Every bear and their mom, every not baby bear, so everyone who's been trading a few years, but every bear got trapped right here in 2020. right at around 10.5. It would be very uncharacteristic to return there and allow them to get back in, but this cycle has been full of firsts, so it's definitely not impossible. I just don't think it will. This is what I'm projecting for now in the short term. I'm looking for some kind of relief bounce, maybe a return just to the bottom of that trend, around 22.3. That was a pretty important level over the last few weeks. Man, really not getting the energy we want here. Crap. That's not what I was hoping for. Looks like it's making a little chair pattern. Something tells me it's going to take a while to resolve. So, after the live stream, we will be redirected to tomorrow's live stream. Please make sure you leave a like and click the remind me button. Tune in tomorrow at 10:30 a.m. East. Check out crownanalysis.com, our new project. Jump in the Discord. That is the most important thing. Check out our sponsors, Fairdesk and Bybit exchanges. They are the best in the crypto biz derivative exchanges. Sign up using my link. Helps the stream out. We've got a bunch of shorts that just published. Playlist is in the live chat. Don't sleep on those. They're fire. They're fire. I have a feeling Bitcoin's going to move as soon as I turn the stream off, but that's a risk I'm going to have to take because we're going to be live again tomorrow. And I will see you then, fam. I love you. Crown out.